Once you create a website, you have to upload that to a web server. Here you create a simple web page and then you viewed it in a web browser. But you can see that the file is saved locally. That means my friend who is sitting somewhere else, he or she cannot see that because it is local to my computer. So the web servers are the remote um, computers that can store web files and then render them as web files. So you need to have a remote host so that you can uh, access that file from anywhere. A server that is on the internet so you can access to it through the internet. And you see you have a free file server which is a simple file server as well as a web server. So that's what we are going to use to upload this file to. The web server for UC is called ucfilespace. So you need to log into ucfilespace. So you have to type ucfilespace, which is the one word, .uc.edu. So ucfilespace.uc.edu. Then you will get this page where you have to log in. You will click login and you will put your 6+2, which is your UC email login, and you would enter your UC password and you can log in. Once you log in, you can see that every student at UC has this file space available. So if you want to simply use some files, you can go here and upload this. But our use here is to host a web page. So you first have to click on My Files. This step is very important. And then you need to select the sites. This sites folder is where you have to put your websites. Only the files that are under the sites folder will be accessed as a web page. So if you have to have a web page, it has to be under the sites. So if you first have to go to My Files and then click on sites folder, and then you will get. So just like in your local computer, this is the web server file. This is sitting somewhere in UCIT, and then I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to call it FWD for Fundamentals of Web Development, and we are going to use different web pages that you will be creating under that FWD folder. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder named FW. Please make sure that you only use lowercase to save a lot of grief later. That means this UC file space, which is a Unix based system, is case sensitive. So I encourage you to use all lower cases and no spaces in your folder names and file names. So you would say FWD and create. So you will see the new folder. Now I'm going to click on that, and this is where I'm going to put my assignment 1 or whichever one that you want to upload it. Here under FWD, I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to call it ASN1, same maybe for your assignment 1. And then of course you need to click on it so that it will go under. So here you can see FWD, the ASN1. Now I'm going to upload my file that I created just before. So I will click on upload and then say browse. And I know I saved it to desktop and I called it first web. Okay, so if you are updating your first web file, then you can say that hey, override the existing one. So you selected your file that was locally stored and you are going to upload into a server. So you can see under FWD and ASN1 you have the first web HTML. Now this HTML file will be served as a web page. The way to access the files in UC file space as a web page is something that you have to be careful about. Once you have a site created in UC file space, you are not going to use ucfilespace.uc.edu. Instead, you are going to say homepages.uc.edu. Again, homepages.uc.edu. Then you would say /. Then you need to use the tilde symbol. Tilde symbol usually in Windows or PCs on the left hand side, just below the F1 key, and tilde your 6 plus 2, and then you need to give the path to your file. Please make sure that you don't put sites here. You just go to your root folder, which is your email, your ID, and then you would say FWD. That was the file we had, the folder we had, and then we had ASN1 folder, and then we said what was the name, was firstweb.html, firstweb.html. Okay, so it's not UC file spaces, it is homepages.uc.edu tilde your 6 plus 2, then FWD ASN1 or whichever folder you created and the file you wanted to access. Now this is served from the file server, so anybody in the whole wide world can access this page as long as you give them this link. So that is how, so whereas this one was from your local page. So when you are submitting the file, submitting your assignment, make sure that you give me this URL, because if you give me your local file, I have no way of accessing it from your home computer or school computer. So you make sure that you have that. So for example, remember I talked about using lowercase all the time. See, if I typed capital ASN, it will say that file is not found, but there is nothing called capital ASN1 in your server. So make sure that you have that correct. So if you have any space, anything like that, it won't work. So this is how you upload a local file to UC file space. For all your assignments, you have to upload your files to appropriate folders, and then you have to give me the URL for your website. Not so that is very important. You know how to upload something to UC file space and how to submit it. So this is what you have to do for your first assignment too. If you have any questions, please post that in your Blackboard